class and also actively participate in all the exercises. Okay, so after I explain something, if you do not understand something, then you can please ask me. Okay, so now today in this class we are going to learn about a very interesting and a very important topic. Okay, this, like, this is what forms, like, the base of your English speaking or English grammar as well. So we are going to speak about future tense today. All right, so it is one of the tenses. First of all, what exactly are tenses? Tenses are the words which will help us to understand when that particular action is done, whether it is an action which is already complete, or whether it is happening now or is relevant to the present, or it will happen. Yani ki bhavishya or future tense. All right, so in this case, so today's class, as I told you, we are going to discuss about future tense. Now when we speak about the future tense, okay, a quick background. The future tense is used to denote those activities or those particular situations which have not yet happened, okay, which are not happening, but which will happen in the future. Yani ki bhavishya mein honge is sometimes, and in Hindi, future is also, future tense is also said to be the bhavishya kal. All right, so therefore here we are going to study about future tense, that is about activities that will happen. So the future continuous tense, we use the future continuous tense to talk about actions which will be in progress at a time in the future. So just like how we have learned in the case of past continuous and present continuous, so future continuous also means, continuous means that those activities are in progress. All right, yani ki hone wale hain. Yeah, okay, so that is, so it will always be in the ing form. As you all know, continuous means the activities will be in the ing form. So therefore in this case too, when I say continuous, future continuous or past continuous or present continuous, in all the cases continuous means, okay, we have to use the verb or the action word in the ing form. For example, I suppose it will be raining when we start. So raining, can you see in this case, raining, it is in the ing form. So therefore we know, okay, that it is in the continuous form. So in case of future tense, we will use the words will. So I will, I suppose it will be raining. So will be is what is used for future tense. Okay, and then we have, if it, and it is, since it is continuous, we have the verb in the ing form. Similarly, the second example, this time tomorrow I will be sitting on the bench in Singapore. All right, so here इस टाइम पर कल मैं सिंगापुर में एक बेंच पे बैठा होगा. All right, so like, that is the meaning in this case. So this time, यानी कि at this time, but tomorrow I will be sitting on a bench, यानी कि मैं एक बेंच पर बैठा होगा सिंगापुर में. Okay, we also use this tense. So now this is a future continuous tense to show that some activities will be in progress, that is happening. Now future tense also can be used to talk about actions in the future which are already planned or which are expected to happen in the normal course of things. That is, okay, so we can also use the future continuous, that is like, the ing form ka tense. Okay, so in order to show those activities which have already been planned or which are expected to happen. For example, I will be staying here till Sunday. All right, so yahan, so that is, I will be staying here, yani ki main yahan rukunga Sunday tak. All right, so I will be staying here, or he will be meeting us next week. So in this case, to certain cases wherein there are planned activities or scheduled activities, we can use the future continuous tense. All right, and always remember, whenever we use future tense or future continuous tense, we have to use will be and the verb in the ing form. All right, any doubts, any questions? Anybody has anything to ask? All right, let's proceed. So then the be2 plus the base form of the verb. Base means, okay, it's like, the root form. So we use the be2 plus the base form of the verb to talk about official plans and arrangements. For example, okay, so the Prime Minister is to visit America next month. The conference is to discuss nuclear tests. So if some of you, okay, so who have attended the previous class on present tense, can you identify this particular auxiliary be, it has three forms: is, am, and are. So in this case, we can use the is, we are using the is form. Okay, so or we can also say am to. All right, for example, I am to see him at 9 o'clock. All right, so that is I will be meeting. So instead of saying I will be meeting, then we can also say am to, is to. That is the verb, auxiliary verb be, which has three forms: is, am, and are. It can be used in this case, okay, along with the base form that is said to be the root form or the infinitive form. Okay, that is to visit or to discuss. All right, so that is what is meant by the base form, yani ki, like, the root form or the basic form. All right, without any ing or anything, any other modifications. So therefore, this particular formula, please note down, this particular case, it is used when we are talking about official plans and arrangements. Understood? So this way also we can indicate the future activities. The next one, future perfect tense. All right, so future perfect tense is used to talk about actions that will be completed by a certain future time. Okay, so I'm sure by now you all know, okay, why perfect tenses are used in case of past perfect and present perfect. So similarly, we use it even for future perfect, okay, in order to show that certain activities, since it is future, will be completed. All right, so therefore these activities will be completed. So for example, I shall have written my exercise by then, यानी कि जो भी मुझे कोई होमवर्क है, कोई एक्सरसाइज करने को दिया है, I shall have written. All right, so can you see, I shall have written. So in this case also, just like present, we will use have. Okay, had का इस्तेमाल नहीं होगा, but the only difference is we will either use will or we will either use shall. Okay, so I will have written my exercise by then, or I shall have written my exercise by then. यानी तब तक मैं वह कर चुका होऊंगा. All right, so like that is the meaning. All right, please excuse my Hindi is not professional, but I hope you're getting the meaning. Okay, so the second one is he will have left before you go to see him. यानी कि जब तुम उसे मिलने जाओगे तब तक वह जा चुका होगा. All right, so he will have left before you go to see him. So that is so this is basically, okay, so how future perfect is used in order to show certain activities which will, like, be completed by that time. By the time it is future tense, these activities which we are talking about will be completed by the future tense. Understood? So that is the meaning in this case. Is there any doubt, any questions about any of the things that I have explained? Any doubts, any questions? Anybody wants to ask anything? If I'm going a little too fast, please let me know. Okay, I'll slow down. I'll explain to you. If you have कोई भी doubt है, please पूछना. Okay. Okay, so nobody has said about anything about doubt. So I assume all of you have understood. Okay, let's go to the next one now. Future perfect continuous tense. So instead of continuous, it's also called as progressive. So future perfect progressive tense or continuous tense. So it is similar to that of the continuous tense, but only thing यहाँ पर been का इस्तेमाल होगा. Okay, that is the word been. Okay, so if you have seen the examples here, so that is the only difference here. And continuous means, again, the verb will be used in the ing form. All right, so the future perfect continuous tense is used for actions which will be in progress over a period of time that will end in the future. All right, so that is, they will be in progress over a period of time and which will end in the future. Please note down the definitions because it will really help you. Okay, so again, now this tense is not very common. However, here tense like it is there. For example, by next March we shall have been living there for 4 years. Yani ki in other words, okay, it means by next month, okay, by next month we like we will complete like 4 years of living there. In other words, it means this, but the correct way of saying would be by next March we shall have been living here for 4 years. यानी कि हमें यहाँ पर रहते हुए 4 साल पूरे होंगे. All right, next March तक. All right, so that is by next March, okay, this thing will be happening, or like this thing will happen, that is we have been living here. Understood? The next example, I will have been teaching for 20 years next July. All right. So यानी कि मेरे बच्चों को सिखाने के 20 साल कंप्लीट हुए होंगे. Okay. So next July तक. All right. So I will have been teaching. Can you see here? Have been teaching. So have been plus verb in the ing form is like, the formula for future perfect tense, future perfect continuous tense. For all perfect continuous tenses, you have to remember whether it is past, present, or future perfect continuous. Okay, you have to remember to use been. Okay, it is very important, because that been is what is telling us that, that particular thing is present, and it is perfect, and it is continuous. Understood? Okay, is there any doubts, any questions with respect to whatever I've explained? Future continuous, simple future tense, future continuous, perfect future tense, and future perfect continuous. Any doubts, any questions? Anybody wants to ask anything? Koi doubts, koi questions? Okay, so we'll proceed to the exercises. So the first question for all of you is, when I get home, my dog dash at the gate for waiting for me. What is the answer? Good job, Tishar. Well done. Okay, so here the answer is the second option. Okay, so and good job, Shri, Vidya, and CG is you too. So here, when I get home, my dog will be sitting waiting for me. All right, so will be sitting यानी कि जब तक मैं घर जाऊंगा, मेरा कुत्ता मेरे लिए wait कर रहा होगा. All right, so will be waiting. So now here we cannot say when I get home my dog sits at the gate waiting for me. Sits is usually something, okay, so which happens on a regular basis for habitual activities. Now in this case, okay, we are showing the tenses as well. So when I get home, my dog will be sitting at the gate waiting for me. All right, so यानी कि वह क्या कर रहा होगा, गेट पर मेरा इंतजार कर रहा होगा. So we have to show the continuous form here, because that is that is an action which is not yet completed, right? It will be happening. So here this is an action which is going to happen. So when I get home, my dog will be sitting at the gate waiting for me. All right, try the next one. The train dash before we reach the station. So what is the answer here? Good job, Sri Vidya. CG is well done. So in this case too, the train will have arrived before we reach the station. Okay, so we have to use the perfect tense in this case, because this is something which will happen before you reach there. Always remember, okay, so even in other cases as well, when we have learned, perfect tenses are used to show activity which has happened before. For example, if there are two activities which are happening, the first one will usually be used or will be depicted by showing perfect, and the second one by the simple tense or the continuous form. So in this case, the train will have arrived before we reach the station. यानी कि so train पहले पहुंचेगी और उसके बाद हम पहुंचेंगे. So will have arrived. Understood? So it is not the train arrives before we reach the station. Besides, it doesn't make sense as well. Arrives is used for simple present to show something which has been happening or which happens on a regular basis. Whereas here we are showing, okay, so kind of a situation, yani ki probably these people are running late. So therefore they are like, okay, so the train will have arrived before we reach the station. So which action is happening first? The train coming first and then we going there. All right, so that's why it is used with so that's why the second option is correct. Okay, try the third one. Try the next one. I dash into town later. Do you want a lift? I hope you all know what the meaning of lift is. Okay, किसी को free trip देना. Good job, Kota, Tushar, Srividya, Meena, and Mona. Well done. Okay, I'm very happy that a majority of you have got this correct. So here the answer is, I will be driving into town later on. Do you want a lift? All right, so I will be driving into the town later on. So we cannot say I drive into town later on. Do you want a lift? First of all, doesn't make sense. Secondly, okay, so you are going to do something. Have you done it already? Okay, so no. So therefore I will be driving. All right, so yani ki town means, okay, so it's like a city. So that is, I will be going to the city, or I will be driving into the town later on. Do you want a lift? Kya aap mere sath aana chahoge? All right, that is what it means. All right, if you have any doubts, any questions, please ask. Okay, so the next one. By 2025, computers dash many of the jobs that people do today. What is the answer? We are in the year 2020, so you have to accordingly select the option. Okay. Good job, Prema, Prabhu Chaitanya, Sri Vidya, Tushar, Huzaifa. Well done. So here the answer is, by 2025, computers will have taken over many of the jobs that people do today. Okay, now in this case, we have to say will have taken over, because first of all, we are in the year 2020. Okay, and we are talking about the future. So therefore, we have to say will have taken over. Now we cannot say we have taken over, but have taken over is present perfect. All right, we have to indicate future perfect here. So therefore will is very important, because that will is helping us to know that it is something which will happen by then. Understood? So which will get completed by this year. All right, so which will have taken over and not which have taken over. So computers have taken over many jobs, यानी कि यह already हो चुका है. So पर यह नहीं हो चुका है, हम future के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. That's why the first option is correct here, that will is very important. Okay, try the next one. I dashed you one of these days, I hope. What is the answer here? Good job, Sri Vidya, Tishar, Prabhu Chaitanya, Meena, and Vivek. Fantastic. So here the answer is, I will be seeing you one of these days, I hope. Yani ki seeing in this case also means meeting. So I will be meeting you one of these days, or I will be seeing you one of these days. All right. Besides the word I see you one of these days, I hope, does it even make sense? Okay. So here we could have said, I hope to see you one of these days. Okay, in that case, probably we could have said I hope to see you. But here the sentence structure is such that we cannot use see, because it simply doesn't make sense. All right, so therefore we will say, I will be seeing you one of these days, or I will be meeting you one of these days, I hope. All right, yani ki, I hope you all know what is the meaning of hope. Okay, so that is the meaning in this case. Try the next one. I dash your house this afternoon. It is on my way home from work. I'll give you a little extra time with this one. Good job, Vivek, Prema, Tushar, Meena, and Huzaifa. Well done. Okay, I'm very happy that a majority of you have answered this correctly. So here it will be, I will be passing your house this afternoon. It is on my way home from work. I am passing your house. Okay, I am passing means here, this is something which is happening. It is present continuous. Whereas here we require future continuous. Yani ki this afternoon. This afternoon means aaj dopaher. So yani ki probably this is probably a conversation which is happening in the morning. So dopaher, okay, so in the afternoon. So has this action already, is it happening? No. So therefore we cannot use the first one, because it is in present continuous. M is present, showing us it is present. Passing is showing us that it is in the continuous form. So it is present continuous. Second one is will be. Will be means it is in the future, and passing is telling us it is continuous. So it is future continuous. So I will be passing your house this afternoon. यानी कि मैं दोपहर आपके घर से पास हो जाऊंगा, या गुजरूंगा something. All right, passing. Okay, I hope you all know, मैं वहां से जाऊंगा क्योंकि आपका घर मेरे मेरे घर जाने का जो रास्ता है, आपका घर उसके बीच में आता है, उस रूट के बीच में. Understood? So that is what it means. So I will be passing your house this afternoon. What is telling us this is in the future tense, because this afternoon. Understood? We cannot say I am passing your house this afternoon. That's incorrect. Okay, I will be passing your house this afternoon. That is, आज दोपहर मैं आपके घर से गुजरूंगा. All right, that is why the second option is perfect. Try the next one. If you have any doubts, any questions, please ask. Okay, don't hesitate. But till now, I feel most of you are really doing well. So good job. Okay, so well done. Okay, so here most of you have given incorrect responses. Okay, so here it says, this book is not long. I will have read it by lunchtime. So here, okay, so as we understood, okay, sorry, the future perfect tense is used to show an activity which will, like, be have been completed by then, all right, by the future tense. So here we say that this book is not long. यानी कि यह book उतना like बड़ा नहीं है, बड़ा या pages wise in terms of the content. Okay, in terms of the written content, it is not quite long. That is, I will have read it by lunchtime. यानी कि lunch time खाने के समय, okay, so दोपहर खाने के समय तक मैं यह book read कर चुका होऊंगा. That is, I should have completed reading this book. This is the meaning. Now how will we say it in the future tenses? I will have read. Understood? So that is the meaning here. It is not I will have read. Okay, so here we are using past participle. That is, I will have read it by lunchtime. यानी कि by lunchtime मैं यह book read कर चुका होऊंगा. That is, by that time this action of reading the book is complete. Understood? That is why the first option is correct. Now look at the second one. I will have been read. Been is used in the progressive tense. Here we are not showing progressive. We are not showing that this action will be, like, in progress at that time. We are just showing that this action will be complete by that time. So that's why we cannot say been there. So that been option is incorrect. That's why second option is incorrect. Look at the third one. I will be reading it by lunchtime. So will be reading is like again in the continuous form. Here we are not showing continuous at all. Here we are showing that this action will be complete by then. यानी कि उस समय तक यह action complete, यानी कि book पढ़ने का action complete हुआ होगा. So that is why the first option is correct in this case. Okay, I will have read it by lunchtime. Why? Because the book is not long. उतना बड़ा book नहीं है, मैं complete कर सकता हूँ पढ़ के. All right, did everybody understand? Is there any doubt, any questions? Anybody? किसी को कुछ पूछना है, कोई doubts है, कुछ question मुझे you want me to explain again? Any doubts like these? Yes, Sri Vidya.
Ma'am, my doubt is about continuous form. Like the present continuous, we use present continuous for planned actions. Right.
For
So
planned actions, yes.
If in previous slide, I have a doubt that, ma'am, can you go for previous slide, page number 10? Here.
This
The
one?
grammatically, I will be passing. Yeah, this one. The grammatically, I will be passing is right. But
Yes.
sometimes we use present continuous for future, to talk about future.
So what according?
What is the difference between? How could I differentiate these two tenses?
See, it depends on the sentence structure. Sometimes you can use both as well.
Okay.
Understood? So here you can say I will be passing your house this afternoon. I think what you're asking me is about that is to and M2, right? Like he is to for example, the president is to make a speech. Yes, and yes, so you can use it. But what is the difference here? When I say is to, I'm not using the ing form. Whereas here, if I have to say the president will be addressing, so I'm using the ing form. So again, it depends on the sentence structure. You can use either one, okay, either one. But however, the sentence structure is what is important. All right. If you are using is to, are you using the continuous form there? No. So that is like in that form you are going to use it like in the to express. Whereas if you are using the future continuous, then you have to use the ing form. So it depends basically on the sentence structure. Understood? You don't have to get confused. You can use either one, but just make sure that you use the correct form. If you're using present tense, then you have to use that is to, that to be form, to be plus base form. Whereas, okay, in this case, you can use it, you have to use the ing form. Understood? See, either one you can say right now. Okay, if you're getting confused, just don't go for those complicated ones. Okay, go in for the simple ones. Normally, how jaise hum bolte hain, okay, so the president will be making a speech or he is going to address. Instead of saying the president is to. Understood? If you're getting confused, and later on, once you get become really a professional, then you start using those forms as well to express. Understood, Srividya?
Ma'am, sometimes we use present continuous to refer future.
So,
Present continuous to refer future, like I am passing, I am coming home tomorrow.
I am
Yeah,
coming.
so
So usually in that case, okay, so try to use the normal future only. So I will be coming home tomorrow. All right. So try to use it in. Try to use the future only instead of using. Now see what happens is if Sri Vidya, if you why this all of these rules are important is because if you intend on answering some exams, English exams or like IELTS, so those exams, so for that, okay, so such questions, if they are asked, you should not be at a loss. So you should know what are the rules. But normally, when we speak, okay, try to keep your conversations always very simple, okay, because to be an effective speaker, you should use simple communication skills so that everyone listens to it. All right, Sri Vidya. So that is the time, okay. So you can, so normally just say, I will be coming home tomorrow. All right. So rather than saying, I am coming home tomorrow. All right, and I think it is I am going to come. Okay, so that going to come itself is telling you it is future. All right.
okay, ma'am. Okay,
Okay.
thank you, ma'am.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay, so anybody else, any doubts, any questions? Can we proceed on to the next one? Okay. So please attempt this one now. The answer dash for different patients. So what is the answer here? A good job, Pavdeep, Tushar. Well done. So here the answer is, okay, so the answer will be different for different patients. So here that B is missing in the second case. It cannot just be the answer will different for different patients. It is incomplete, right? So that verb be is very, very important there in order to complete the meaning. So therefore the answer will be, yani ki hoga, different for different patients. Understood? So that B is missing. That's why second option is incorrect. Try this one now. These remedies dash on any infection. So what is the answer here? Give you a little extra time. Good job, Sri Vidya, Vijay. Fantastic. So here the answer is these remedies will have little impact on any infections. Okay. So here we cannot say these remedies will be little impact or these remedies will little impact. Again, both are incomplete, and besides, be is usually used to describe a state of being, whereas have yani ki like hoga. All right, whereas B is hai. Like normally it is like that context, whereas this is have is like hoga. So in this case we are saying something which like which will be like having or something like that. So therefore we will say these remedies will have little impact on any infection. Impact means effect. All right, so that is the meaning. Infection, I hope all of you know. All right, so that is the meaning here. These remedies means, okay, so treatment or like some kind of cure for any kind of infection. All right, so these remedies will have little impact, yani ki utna effect nahi hoga is infection pe. Understood? That is the meaning in this case. So we have to use have and not be. Okay, the next one. Users dash their email by the time blacklists are updated. What is the meaning here? What is the option? Sorry, quickly mark your answers. Okay, so again here read means something which is already done, yani ki pad chuke honge. All right, so now this is not will have been reading. Again, another thing is that, okay, so you can identify with been. जब भी हम been का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, the verb has to be in the ing form. Okay, this is also another trick which you can use to identify, okay, and not get confused. जब भी हम progressive tense का use करते हैं, perfect progressive tense, जब भी been का इस्तेमाल होता है, we have to use the verb in the ing form. Okay, so it should have been reading, then it would have been a correct option, will have been reading. All right, but however in this case, okay, it says read. Okay, so and then it is incorrect. Besides, okay, in this case the correct meaning is tab tak pad chuke honge, so that is completed the action of reading by that time. So therefore here we will simply say users will have read their email, यानी कि वह अपना email पढ़ चुके होंगे. Understood? So here the meaning what we want is completion of the action, that is will have read. Besides another point, okay, even if you did not understand the meaning and you got confused between the two options, another hint at which you could identify which is the correct answer here is been के साथ हमेशा हम ing form का verb ing form में use करते हैं. So it should have been will have been reading. Why? Because been is showing us it is a progressive or a continuous action. So therefore it has to, the verb ing, if the verb has to be in the ing form. All right, so that would have been another hint for all of you to identify. Okay, so then try the next one now. At this moment tomorrow morning I dash an examination. What is the answer here? I hope you know examination means exam. Okay, uska long form hai. Good job, Vivek, Sri Vidya, Tushar, Prabhu Chaitanya, and Munna. Fantastic. So here at this time tomorrow morning, I will be taking an examination, or I will be answering an examination. All right. So in this case here, we are showing an activity which will be in motion or which will be in continuous action. All right. So therefore, at this moment tomorrow morning, I will be taking an examination, not I will take an examination. So I will be answering. If you're getting confused with the word taking, just replace it with answering. Answering यानी कि जब हम कोई भी एग्जाम आंसर कर रहे हैं, it's a progress, right? So at this moment tomorrow, I will be taking or answering an exam. We are showing that this action will be in motion or it will be in a continuous form. So therefore, we have used the continuous form taking in this case. Understood? Okay, so try the next one now. He dash his mind by tomorrow. What is the meaning? What is the answer here? Good job, Karanveer, Sri Vidya, Prema, Prabhu Chaitanya. So well done. So here too, we have to use the words. Okay, so he will have changed his mind by tomorrow. So here we are also showing the activity which will have been completed, okay, in the future by that time. So will be completed. So that's why we have to use changed and not change. Understood? So completed already, like, which is done. So therefore we will use the word changed and not change. Okay, now he is about to change his mind by tomorrow. Does this like kind of make sense? He is about to change. About to means like, this is going to happen at any point of time. So it kind of has that meaning. Understood? So therefore we cannot say we cannot say he is about to change. Is means it is in the present. यानी कि यहाँ अभी वह किसी भी moment अपना मन change कर सकता है. It's like that meaning of the second option. So here we are not showing that. All right, so here we are showing that he will have changed. यानी कि कल तक वह अपना okay, so जो opinion है वह change कर चुका होगा. Understood? That's why the third option is correct in this case. All right, try the next one now. Make sure you read this one carefully, okay? Both have two separate meanings, two different meanings, okay? So I'll give you a little extra time. Please try this one and be careful, okay? There is a slight meaning different here, dono ka. Okay, so good job, Vivek, Prema, Kore, Karanveer, and Huzefa. Fantastic. So here the answer is before he goes shopping, he will make a shopping list. यानी कि okay, so वह जाने से पहले वह अपना shopping list बनाएगा. वह the first option means वह जाने से पहले वह एक shopping list बना रहा होगा. Does it make sense? Okay, so if your list is not complete, can you go for shopping? Okay, so like after your, so before going for shopping, he will make a shopping list, yani ki that activity is like complete. Okay, so he will make a shopping list. Okay, so yani ki वह एक shopping list बनाएगा. All right, whereas okay, in the first case it means वह shopping जाने से पहले वह एक list बना रहा होगा. So will be making. All right, so here we simply have to use the words will make and not will be making, which is incorrect. It should not be in the continuous form. It is simple future, that is he will make a shopping list. यानी कि he will वह बनाएगा नहीं, वह बना नहीं रहा होगा. I mean, like you understood, right? It's not in the continuous form. He will have made it, okay, or like he will make one, but he will not be making it before going for shopping. Okay, so that it will be ready before going for shopping. Understood? So that is the meaning. So the a slight different. That's why I told you have to read it very carefully. Okay, so he will be making is the so in the first option it is be making, and in the second option it is just will make. So will make and will be making are two separate meanings. Understood? So that's why I told you to be very careful with this one. Okay, so try the next one. When I see my doctor this afternoon, I ask him to check my back. Okay, so I will ask him to check my back. Second option. What is the correct answer here? This one is very simple. Good job, Karanveer, Prema, Munna. Okay, fantastic. So here in this case, okay, we have to again, the second option is correct. Okay, so the simple reason is that, okay, when I see my doctor this afternoon, the first part of the sentence is telling us that this action is going to happen. Okay, when, यानी कि जब मैं मेरे डॉक्टर को दोपहर में मिलूंगा, okay, तब मैं उसे अपनी बैग को चेक करने के लिए कहूंगा. That is the meaning. जब मैं उसे मिलूंगा. So job means when means job. Okay, so and this afternoon also tells us aaj dopaher. This means aaj. Okay, in this case it means aaj, and afternoon means dopaher. All right, so that is why it is telling us this action has not happened or is happening but will happen. So we have to use a future tense. So here you have to simply say I will ask him to check my bag. All right, so मैं उसे पूछूंगा मेरी, और I will request him to check my bag. So we cannot say I ask him to check my bag. First of all, ask is present. Okay, we have to use the word will there. And besides, we cannot simply say I ask him to check my bag. All right, you could say I asked him to check my bag, or I am asking him to check my bag. All right, then it could have been correct. But we cannot simply use the word I ask him. All right, that is incorrect. We have to say will. So will is very important in this case. Okay, now try the next one. The train dash at 12:30. Identify whether this is an activity which usually happens or it just happens one time. Okay, and accordingly choose your answers. Okay, so in this case, okay, here the correct answer is arrives. Why? Because here this is something which usually happens on time. So if you know about trains, okay, trains have a fixed schedule or a fixed timing. Understood? So the train arrives at 12:30. So therefore we will use simple present in this case. Okay, we will not use the train will arrive at 12:30. So if we are telling it to somebody else, okay, so what time will the train come? Okay, so the train will arrive at 12:30. Now this is usually in case of metros maybe, or in the case of or in the case where somebody asks you, okay, and this person doesn't know the schedule and they ask you, then maybe you can say the train will arrive at 12:30, or you can say it's not incorrect, but usually in this context we are referring to the schedule. So if you have attended the previous class, you all know that present tense can be used in order to show habitual activities or schedules and all of that. So therefore here it is referring to a schedule. So therefore we will say the train arrives at 12:30. All right, so something which usually happens on a normal basis. However, we can say the train will arrive at 12:30 agar somebody is asking us, okay, about the time. So here we are assuming, or we are taking the situation to be in the context of the kind of the something which happens normally. That's why the first one is correct. Okay, try the next one. We dash dinner at a seaside restaurant on Sunday. Good job, Sri Vidya, Pavdeep, Tushar. So here we can say we are going to have dinner at a seaside restaurant on Sunday. यानी कि हम जाने वाले we are going to have. All right. So we will have had dinner at a seaside restaurant on Sunday. Okay. So now will have had. Okay. It is like usually used to show something which is already completed. Okay. Now you could have said we will have had dinner at a seaside restaurant on Sunday by 9. All right, so like by 9, so this particular action will have got completed. So even in the previous cases, whenever we use the future perfect, we have mentioned kind of a reference. All right, so like by evening, by lunch. Okay, so in this case also, if it was like by 9, then maybe we could have said, okay, so we'll have had dinner at a seaside restaurant on Sunday by 9. But since here we are just discussing about a plan, so therefore we will use the ing form. So that is, we are going to have dinner at a seaside restaurant on Sunday. Understood? So that's why the first option is correct in this case. All right, try the next one now. It dash in Brighton tomorrow evening. What is the answer here? Good job, Srividya, Fauziana, and Kore. Fantastic, Huzefa. Well done. So here the answer is it will snow in Brighton tomorrow evening. Now, in this case, we cannot use the first option. It snows in Brighton tomorrow evening. Snows ka istemal or the simple present is usually used to show activities or habitual activities that normally happen. Usually happen, right? So is this happening usually? Can you see the words tomorrow and evening? Yani ki kal. In the evening. So therefore, we have to show a future tense. We have to use here, not simple present to show habitual activities, because this is not habitual. Habitual hota to tomorrow or evening nahi hota. All right. So it would have simply been it dash in Brighton. It snows in Brighton. Understood? So tomorrow evening हमें बता रहा है, we have to use future tense. So therefore, it will snow in Brighton tomorrow evening. Understood? So it's like a plan. Try the next one now. Any doubts, any questions, anybody? If you want me to explain something, please ask me, okay? So try the next one. We have a few exercises left. So try this one. On Friday at 8 o'clock, I dash my friend. Good job, Srividya, Karanveer, Venkata, Tushar. Okay, this one was very simple. On Friday at 8 o'clock, I am going to meet my friend. So you can use the, so again, this is a scheduled activity, right? So on Friday, so date or day or time भी दिया गया है. So that is on Friday at 8 o'clock. यानी कि Friday 8 बजे मैं अपने दोस्त से मिलूंगा. So I am going to meet my friend. The first one would have been correct if there was will. So on Friday at 8 o'clock, I will meet my friend. But more appropriate here would be the future continuous. That is, I am going to meet. All right, so on Friday at 8 o'clock, I am going to meet my friend. Okay, try the next one. Paul dashed to London on Monday morning. What is the answer? Okay, so good job, Venkata. Well done. Okay, so here the answer is flying. So the Paul is flying to London on Monday morning. All right, now in this case, we cannot say Paul will flying to London on Monday morning. Okay, we have to, that be is very important here. So therefore, we could have said Paul will be flying to London on Monday morning. All right, so in this case, we have Paul is flying or is going to fly to London on Monday morning. Either ways, we could have said. All right, so Paul will be flying to London would have been correct, but that be is missing. So therefore, we will simply say will is flying to London. Okay, try the next one. Wait, I dash you to the station. Okay, so good job, Anil Kumar, Srividya, Tushar, Prema, and Husefa. Well done. So here the answer is wait, I will drive you to the station. Okay, so again, in this case, we cannot simply say, wait, I drive you to the station. So what we will say, wait, I will drive you to the station. All right, so well done. Okay, so try the next one. The English lesson dash at 8:45. Okay, well done, everybody. So here the answer is the English lesson starts at 8:45. So again, in this case, okay, we are taking it more in that context, like, as a habitual action or something which normally happens. So therefore, we will simply say the English lesson starts at 8:45. Okay, not and if somebody is asking, okay, so that is the time probably we could say the English lesson will be starting at 8:45. But here we are taking it as a context, okay, wherein we are looking at it as a habitual action or a routine action. That's why we will simply say the English lesson starts at 8:45. Okay, try the next one. This time next week, I dash in Switzerland. So what is the answer here? Good job, Huzefa. Well done. Okay, so here, this time next week, I will be skiing in Switzerland. All right, now skiing is a sport. Okay, so here we are simply, we will say, okay, I will be skiing in sport. Now we cannot say I will have been skiing. All right, so I will have been skiing is like, the action or like that kind of the completion or like, the here we will simply use the continuous form, not the present perfect continuous. Okay, we will simply use the continuous form. So I will be skiing in Switzerland, यानी कि like इस समय अगले हफ्ते मैं स्विट्जरलैंड में स्कीइंग कर रहा होऊंगा. Not I will have been skiing. Been is also used to show continuous form. Okay, but we will not use a perfect form because this action is like not complete. All right, so like it is not like complete, so that's why we will simply use the continuous form, like this is an action which will be happening. All right, have been skiing is like an action which is like complete and is continuing, like kind of in that context. So here we are simply saying that this is what will be happening, so we will simply use the continuous form and not the present, not the perfect progressive. All right, so therefore the second option is perfect in this case. All right, try the next one. Dash your children with you to France. So what is the answer here? Good job, Prema Foziana. So here, in this case, are you going to take your children with you to France is perfect. Look at the second one. If you carefully see, there is no be in that. Will you going to take your children with you to France? Does it make sense? Is it grammatically correct? Does it even sound correct? Will you be taking your children to with you to France would have been correct, but not will you going to take. Understood? Are you going to take your children with you to France? Not will you going to take your children. Will you be taking your children with you to France would have been correct. Will you be and taking, not that going and to is not required there. All right, in the second case, that going and to, okay, should be removed. And if it was taking and there was a be, then we could have used it. All right, but then here in this case, are you going to take your children with you to France is perfect. All right. Okay. Yes, Venkata, what is your doubt? Please unmute yourself.
Yes, yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, actually now I joined very late. That's what now I got the question here. So the doubt is actually when we are using the continuous term, we should be add be before verb ing, right?
Yes.
So for example, in this case, the wrong answer will you going because of if after you there is a be, then the answer it will be correct, right?
If there is a be and that if it is taking and there is no going to, then it will be correct.
Yeah, so that's what I understand. Whenever we use the future tense, future continuous, there should be before verb ing, right?
Yes.
So then that time only we have to use the okay, got it, got it. Here in this statement, B is missing. That is the reason the second option is wrong.
Yes. So it should have been, will you be taking your children with you to France? Then it would have been correct. Not only be is missing, but because here you going also is there and take has to be in the ing form. Then it would have been correct.
Would have been okay, okay, okay. Got it, got it. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Would have been okay, fine. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right, so with this, we have come to the end of the class. I have already launched the poll. Please make sure that all of you rate this session. Okay, and if anybody else wants to ask anything, you can do so. Okay, and I hope all of you have made a lot of notes. Okay, so particularly the previous ones where we discussed where exactly what has to be used. Okay, because these tenses and these concepts form your basis of English. Okay, tenses are very important because whenever we speak to anybody, if you use the wrong tense, it is very difficult to understand what you're trying to say. Okay, like to understand the content basically. And another important concept is about genders. Okay, if you master these two things, it is very simple. Okay, then prepositions, articles, okay, that is like an add-on. Okay, but if you get your tenses and if you get your genders, okay, like pronouns, that is when to use he, when to use she, if you get this correct, it is very easily people will be able to understand what you're trying to say, even if there are minor mistakes. Understood? So get your tenses correct. All your simple tense, present tense, past tense, future tense, and your genders. Okay, that is he, she, and it. If you get this correct, and even if you make minor mistakes here and there, then people will still be able to understand what you're trying to say. Okay, so just make sure that all of you pay attention to this. Okay, so I think there are no doubts. So we can end the class here. It was a lovely class with all of you. And I will see you all in my next class now at 4 o'clock. So make sure that you keep practicing. And I will see you all soon. Bye.